Are the Leafs bad again? Are you gonna yell? You gonna scream? Okay, this is worse than I thought. Hi, kids! Victorious puppies! This team is ruining my life! Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief! Okay. We can, and we will!
You want a tree push? There you go. There you go. I think you deserve that one. There you go. These are all the wins they should have got over the past, I don't know, year, something like that. I don't know, to some of you it's just a little slump. You know, it's just a little 6-game slump. Don't worry about it. It's not like they're sub 500 since January. You know, it's nothing to worry about, guys. It's nothing to worry about.
Stop stirring the pot. You're not improving the situation or adding insightful commentary. You are only serving to exasperate the fan base. Maybe you can try getting behind the team instead of piling on top of them. Whatever happened to "Are you in, Steve?" I think Charlie Brown's getting a little tired of trying to kick this football, guys. This is my second coffee of the day. I'm trying to get on board with it. I'm trying to get jacked for this. Trying to give you the big reaction that I'm sure you're expecting. Like, the reaction that the 2016-17 team gave me. That team was the most stressful I think I've ever covered as a Leafs fan, and they finally made the playoffs that year. That's because they were good. They had hope attached to them. The year after, they had hope attached to them. I saw a great tweet. They made the playoffs the day they signed Patrick Marleau. It was a joke. Last season, I began with sky-high expectations, and somewhere around January, right at the beginning of January, something went so wrong with this team. And you could say, oh, that was last year. Oh, that was a different bunch. Okay, just this year then. The Leafs points percentage, .478, now ranks better than just 5 teams. Ottawa, New Jersey, Detroit, Minnesota, and the LA Kings. You can't sugarcoat it anymore. With 4 elite forwards, 3 D who have played on a first pair, and one of the best goalies in the world, they're among teams that are full-on tanking. They suck, guys. The Leafs suck. Well, the injury, forget the injuries. You didn't see Pittsburgh? They didn't have Sidney Crosby. I guess I found the coffee. The Leafs do not have a forward as good as Sidney Crosby, and they were missing him. The Leafs do not have a defenseman as good as Chris Letang, not a right-handed one anyway, and the Penguins didn't have him. The Leafs do not have a player with the utter disregard for humanity that Patrick Hornquist has, and they didn't have him, and they walked all over the Leafs. The Winnipeg Jets defense is made up of a bunch of old coffee lids and stir sticks, and they're still winning hockey games. Why can't this team ever score a goal when it's tied, or when they're up, or first? Ever! 18 times in 23 games they've been scored on first. This isn't a blip. This is not a result of my lack of optimism for this team. They suck! And bless you. Just bless you. Oh, you gotta get behind this team. Oh, it's just a little blip. You're the best fans in sports. You're just the greatest fans in this sport and in all of sports. I can't believe you still have optimism. I still can't believe you always give this team the benefit of the doubt. I can't believe I do. I can't believe I do. You know I'm going to be back next video. I'm back today. I'm back today. But seriously, forget the fact that they haven't won a cup since 1967. Let me repeat that. They haven't won a cup since 1967. They haven't won a Stanley Cup. They haven't won a championship in over half a century. They haven't won a playoff round since 2004. Do you understand? The Leafs haven't won a playoff round since George Bush's first term in office. Do you understand? The last time the Leafs won a playoff round, the #1 song on the Billboard charts was Yeah by Usher. Do you understand? The last time the Leafs played a second round playoff game, the #1 movie in the box office was Mean Girls. And I'm not even talking about the players currently on this team. I'm not even talking about them. Half of them were still in diapers when that movie came out. When the Leafs played that game where Jeremy Roenick scored that goal, where Matt Sundin was definitely interfered with or hooked or slashed, I can't remember, but the scarring is still there. Half of the players on this team were barely alive. It's you! What is wrong with you? That you're still around! That you're still trying to kick the football! Don't you notice anything? Don't you pick up on any trends? Haven't you noticed that Lucy might not exactly be trustworthy? Don't tell me there's nothing wrong with this team and just stick to it and keep grinding. Their MVP over the past 2 games has been seem to like, who now coaches the Holy Smoking Sens, by the way. But they're down 3-0 and 4-1 to Chicago, but they only lost 5-4. The game-winning goal was an empty netter. Oh, yeah. Oh, if you don't count the Vegas empty netter, and what if that save when it keep moving the goalposts? I woke up today and I was thinking about what to say in this video, and this is very obviously not planned. I was going to do a very somber one with no screaming, but I said I don't know what to say, and a lot of people responded, well, dude, you've made videos about bad Leafs teams before. No. I have never been in this exact position before. I have never, this is my 13th season making videos, been in this position before. Steve, you talked about bad Leafs teams? Of course I've talked about bad Leafs teams. I've talked about bad Leafs teams that I expected to be bad. I have talked about bad Leafs teams that I hoped would be bad because they were tanking. And I have talked about good Leafs teams that have made the playoffs and at least look competitive. But what I'm watching right now is the single most disappointing team in the National Hockey League. They're terrible. And I'm not sure what the excuse is. Is it just the coach is bad? Is that it? Coach is bad, his message has fallen stale, and we just gotta fire him and everything's gonna be fine? They hire some guy, I don't know, a wizard, apparently. They hire someone with wizard blood. Perhaps just a half-blood. Oh, the roster's bad. Oh, it's okay, the roster's bad. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get that fixed up in a jiffy. Don't you worry. We'll just completely reconstruct the roster that was completely reconstructed in the summer. Okay, gotcha. Maybe the players just don't care. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe it's that old blue and white disease y'all were talking so much about. Maybe that's it. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe it's just that Tyson Barrie is the most disappointing Leafs acquisition in my entire lifetime so far. And I'm serious, yes. Seriously, think of all the Leafs players that you've been disappointed in before. David Clarkson, that's a popular one. He was a free agent, guys. He was a free agent. All they gave him was money. They traded Nazem fricking Kadri for this guy. Maybe it's the backup goalie. Oh, maybe it's the backup goalie. They didn't address that in the summer. Oh, maybe you're right. You know, the downfall of so many good teams is their backup goalie. It isn't early anymore. It's not early. We're over a quarter of the way through the season. It's not early. It's not time for moral victories anymore. I don't think any of the fans who flew to and bought tickets to that game purchased a ticket to a moral victory. And that goes for the fans that greet you in every building. Every building. No matter where you go. Maybe it's the pressure. Have we talked about whether or not it's the pressure? Maybe it's the pressure. That's why the Leafs are losing. Maybe they should have gone to a relaxing hockey market like, you know, Montreal or Boston. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know. I feel stupid. I mean, I often feel stupid. God. I'm sorry. You can't tell me to not worry about this team that's built on math when the math says they have like a 25% chance of making the playoffs. It's moneypuck.com. Go look it up. I'm sorry. Questions? I'm good, thanks. Yeah, that's fair. Why? But also, how? Because they suck, and as their enablers, we suck? Yeah. What the hell? Well, I don't know. Maybe they just haven't hit the right quote on their quote of the day calendar yet. Nope. This guy gets it. I feel sorry for you. I bet you do. After all, you're a Bruins fan, and Brad Marchand has lifted 2 trophies on Scotiabank Arena ice. He had that Player of the Game award for the Hall of Fame game, and also the World Cup of Hockey. So don't ask any Leafs about what it's like to win in Toronto. Ask Brad Marchand. In a 7-game series, could last year's Leafs defeat this year's Leafs? For science, of course. Yes, last year's Leafs could absolutely beat this year's Leafs. However, I don't think this year's Leafs could beat this year's Leafs. You know, Pokemon battles, it's like a Metapod versus a Kakuna. How are you supposed to win a hockey game when neither of you can score first? Your thoughts on the Leafs now being statistically more likely to miss the playoffs than make them, even if they play up to their potential? I think JD Bunkus put it perfectly the other day when he said Dubas' best move over the summer might have been top 10 protecting that pick that they gave Carolina. But it's okay. The player that they got back from Carolina is cap space. Do you think it's time to shift the blame to Dubas? Has he been given every reason to succeed with getting Austin Matthews, Tavares wanting to come home, having an amazing backup goaltender who we let go, and having Marner? Fire Dubas and bring back Mark Hunter? I miss Kadri. Well, he had me right up until the Mark Hunter part. I mean, he's back in junior, man. I think he's living his best life. We should all get to work with our family for like a business that we own. I think that's what he digs. As for Dubas, yes, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. It's just his luck that he built a roster with like no maneuverability, none. And they are the most injured they've been in years. But that was a gamble. And if there are moves that Dubas wants to do and the president will not let him do it, the blame goes even higher up the chain. Keefe taking over for Babcock is going to end up like when Horacek took over for Carlisle. Actually, Babcock this year is getting Horacek-like results. Lots of shots, no danger. Yep, that's my number one fear. They're going to fire Babcock and nothing is going to change. And they're just going to look even more stupid. And we're all going to revolt and stop watching, which we all know is not going to happen. We are going to continue watching, continue supporting, continue suffering, because we are Leafs fans. It's what we do best. That's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that we have a brand new Panago Pizza Steve Dangle podcast coming today. I need Adam and Jesse real bad right now because I am running on fumes. I got nothing for this group.